Well, you could have waited at least a little bit, but the 22nd day of the year, and we have ourselves a school shooting. And we don't have to wait too long to play the little guessing game of what's the skin color, what's the ethnicity, what's the race, what's the sex, what's the gender, what's the binary, because we already got the mugshot. We already got the guy because he went into the school, shot at people, and I believe shot himself, and now he's dead. And the conflict resolution is nothing.
At 11:11 this morning, the Emergency Communications Center received a active shooter call, shots being fired call from Antioch High School. From the investigation to this point, we know that at 11:09 a.m., a person who has been identified as a 17-year-old, armed with a pistol, fired multiple shots in the cafeteria of the school. The individual wounded two other students, one of them fatally, before shooting and killing himself. There is no danger at the school. The police department's SWAT team has cleared the building. We have identified the shooter, again, as I said, a 17-year-old, and the investigation is advancing now. One of the persons that the 17-year-old shot, a female, was transported to Vanderbilt University Medical Center and is deceased. A second individual wounded, also a female, has what is being described as a graze wound to the arm, and she is in stable condition at Vanderbilt. This investigation is being led now by the police department's homicide unit, and there is quite a bit of work to be done.
Thank you, Don, and thank you all for being here during this unfortunate time. What we know thus far is that we had a male student that was 17 years old that rode the bus this morning to Antioch High School. During the course of the morning, this individual made his way to the cafeteria where he then confronted a 16-year-old that we identified as a female Hispanic student, fired, striking her. She is deceased. There is another male 17-year-old young man that was wounded with a graze wound, and he has been treated at Vanderbilt and released. The shooter was 17 years old. He entered into the cafeteria, firing multiple rounds in the cafeteria, striking her, and then before pulling the weapon on himself. From that point, at 11:11, we started receiving calls for service. Officers responded and found the male shooter deceased in the cafeteria. We've been working with our state and federal partners on the identification and notifications of all.
Thoughts and prayers are going to be obvious. We're going to have a bunch of people give their political hot take about guns and gun control, and then nothing's going to happen, and we're going to wait for about maybe 2, maybe 3 weeks for the next school shooting. Welcome to 2025. But for any of the people who like to look at certain scenarios like this and say, I want to know about this person's upbringing, I want to know their thoughts, I demand to see a manifesto. Well, I would show you the manifesto, but I believe it's page after page after page of a bunch of words that I can't put on the screen, but I just want you to know this individual you see really don't like individuals who look like him or me. But there's one thing in this entire manifesto that is YouTube safe, and I want everyone to see it just so that it could be illustrated my thought about anyone who shoots up a school, because I believe I have the correct take about all of this. Is there a particular groups or people that radicalized you the most? This is an individual, I guess, doing basic interview of himself in some manner. Candace Owens, Ethan Ralph, Nick Fuentes, Turkey Tom, Ruben Sim, Mr. Beast, Cops and Talks, Wayne Lambright, iDubbbz, Destiny, Hassan Parker, okay. To expand on this, Candace Owens has influenced me above all. Each time she spoke, I was stunned by her insights and her own views. Helped me push further and further into the belief of violence over the Jewish question, along with Turkey Tom and Ruben Sim pushing me to the alt-right pipeline. We're taught violence and extremism by video games, music, literature, or cinema. Yes, following music called incel core, shooter core, taught me kill, Kanye West, and playing games like CSGO, Manhunt, Cry Out of Fear, Postal Doom, Skylanders. First of all, anybody being motivated to kill by playing Skylanders, you automatically need to go to the gulag. Mega Chug, TNO, Hole 14, I feel like I'm missing something there. Morimiya Middle School Shooter have mentally prepared for murder. And listen, you can look at this and you could have whatever opinions you want about the subject matter. I said it and I'll repeat it. I feel like I have the correct take. I don't need to know this motherfucker's thoughts. I want him buried under the jail, and he's dead now. So I kind of get what I want, and there's really nothing that I could look at that could make me say, oh, we can do things to change society for the better, to stop violent people from doing violent things, because that ultimately means I have to trust humanity to not be stupid. And sorry, that's something I can't necessarily do, because there are so many examples that aren't just media, movies, literature, cinema, video games that could entice somebody to think, oh, it's perfectly okay to do this and it's perfectly fine. You got people who get bullied. You got people who get ignored at home. You got people who are mentally ill having their reasons to go shoot up a school. And then we all come about solving nothing, and the problem just sits there for us to do thoughts and prayers, talk about gun control, and then wait for the next one. So quite frankly, may this sick fuck rest in absolute piss, and may the individuals they shot at, whether if they are dead or alive, rest in absolute peace or heal from the traumatic events of being the victim of a school shooter. And to the people who survived, I hope they are able to move forward after a traumatic event like that. And for everybody who's creating their hot takes about what we can do to punish a certain group of people about this, fuck you, because the issue's still not going away with your random hot takes on social media. I understand the need to be so performative. I understand the need to want to be the first person to give their opinion about said subject matter, but this manifesto don't really prove shit. This just proves what I know, is that psychopaths latch on to certain things that people say. And mind you, this manifesto could be complete bullshit. I looked through the whole thing and it's the ramblings of a madman. It's the ramblings of somebody who I wouldn't take seriously in any capacity. It's a sick fuck who deserves nothing but Satan rubbing on his shoulder. And that is the fortune that we have been blessed with. That this dude, not even alive, to waste our time, waste our taxpayer dollars, waste a jail cell. Just rotten hell, you piece of shit. And that's all you necessarily worth for. And to the rest of you, I would love to know what you think about manic school shooter being inspired by all these different people on social media. Should we burn them at the stake? No, because they're just giving their opinions. They're making videos. Whether if you like any of these people or not, don't really matter, because they still have a right to get online and speak all the dumb, weird shit they say, no matter if you agree with it or not. And again, just because I saw Nick Fuentes' name, don't show up to their houses. Don't commit acts of violence. You're not saving the world. You're fucking yourself over, and you're giving me an excuse to laugh at you. But like I said, may this sick fuck rest in absolute piss. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see you all in the next one. Mwah. Goodbye.